What's going on? So I've been an entrepreneur. I quit my job March 25th, 2016. I said, fuck it, I'm out of here. That was in New York City. I moved down to Medellin, where I'm at now, and it's been a crazy ride, all right? And in this video, I want to share the single process that has transformed my business, transformed my life, and also helped our clients be named some of the fastest growing companies in the world. All right, one of our recent consulting clients was just named Inc. 28th fastest growing private company in California. We had another client, Leo, who started as a teenager, recently was named to the ClickFunnels 2 Club Award. And we've also worked with dozens of 7, 8, 9-figure companies and brands. And so I want to share the simple process that we use to help specifically B2B services companies double their revenue with less clients, all right? So it's a simple 3-step process. And before I dive in, I just want to share the alternative, right? Because what I'm sharing is probably something that you haven't really heard before. Nobody's really talking about what I'm about to share. Everybody's talking about more leads, more appointments, more sales, more, right? And you can play that game, right? That's the game most people play. However, if you've been in business longer than 1 month, then you probably understand that working with more people means hiring more people, managing more people, spending more time on all of this, and it just creates more chaos. It creates more things to manage, and instead of freeing you while you grow, it's actually enslaving you, right? So you're on this hamster wheel of constant labor, right? And so what I'm about to share is how you can escape that hamster wheel for good by increasing the lifetime value of your clients, which will allow you to double your revenue with less clients. All right, so there's 3 simple steps to this process. The first step is to define your market of one, okay? Second, create your market of one offer. And then third, sell your offer, all right? Straightforward enough, right? So let me break down steps 1 and 2, and then I'm going to bring in my head of sales to dive into step 3, which is sell your offer. All right, so the first step, defining your market of one, okay? And so, again, what most people do when they're starting their business is they say, okay, well, I have some experience in this, and, I think I can build a business, so I'm going to do it. All right, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to, let's say you have a Amazon PPC management experience. That's one example, right? So you're going to start an Amazon PPC agency. Okay, so what do? Well, most people, and this is, in my opinion, the wrong approach. This is the approach that leads to more work, more labor, more headaches, more stress, all that buzzkill stuff, right? What most people do is they say, okay, I'm going to start an Amazon agency. Let me look at all the Amazon agencies, right? All right, so they're charging $1,500 a month, $2K a month, $14.99 a month, and they're offering this, and this, right? And so what most people do is they look at the competition and they say, okay, this is the competition, and I'm going to either charge maybe a little bit more or a little bit less or right in the middle, and that's it. That's basically all the thought that goes into starting your business and defining your initial market. However, this approach that will allow you to double your revenue with less clients is about defining your market of one. And what that means is instead of being a copycat, instead of conforming to the competition, you're carving out a market of one where only you exist to your ideal perfect clients or partners, and there's no other option for them but you, okay? And so there's 3 big steps involved with this initial step, okay? First is to perform market research, okay? And so what that means is you want to ask your market, what is your greatest challenge, okay? What is your greatest challenge? And you want to get as many of those responses as you can from your target clients and prospects, okay? Because so many times we see these companies making this mistake of thinking that they know better than the market, right? And that is a huge mistake because, again, the easiest way to do this is to just go talk to the people in your market and ask them what their problems are, right? And then Once you've done that, you want to choose a market and you want to choose a niche, because again, becoming a market of one allows you to charge the top 1% rates. It allows you to scale like crazy. It allows you to automate, productize your fulfillment and your offer and your sales process. And so you have to first pick a market and then secondly pick a niche. And so a lot of people will say, okay, my niche is e-commerce. Well, no, e-commerce is not a niche. E-commerce is a massive market. But a niche is, for example, CBD e-commerce brands doing between $2 and $3 million per year in recurring revenue. All right, so that is an example of a niche. Another example of a niche, which is our niche at the current time, is digital transformation companies doing between $2 to $5 million per year that are primarily relying on referrals and are looking to grow beyond referrals. Okay, so that is a niche, but e-commerce is not a niche. And without picking a market, without picking a sub-niche of that market, you are not going to be able to become a market of one. You're not going to be able to charge market-leading rates, and you're not going to be able to craft messaging and sales processes and marketing and sales assets that deeply, deeply resonate with your prospects that allow you to become that market of one. All right, so that is the first step, defining your market of one. And really, what that starts with is a commitment to serving your clients the best in the world. To, you know, that has to be your dedication. Because if you want to just, you know, be mediocre, then by all means, just go look at the competition, charge what they're charging, and just have fun racing to the bottom, right? Because that's where 99% of businesses play, and it sucks, right? It sucks, okay? And so that's the first step, is defining the market of one. The second one is to create your offer, okay? So once you've defined a market of one, then you can actually create your offer. And this is where everything starts, right? So there's 4 sub-steps to this step of creating your offer. First is you want to anchor your value. Second, you want to develop your core offer. Third, you want to design bonuses, scarcity, and urgency. And then lastly, you want to provide a no-brainer guarantee, okay? And the end goal of this step of creating your offer is to make an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no. And a lot of this is inspired by Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Offers. So thank you, Alex, for dropping so much knowledge in that book. We've already transformed our business because of that. And so if you guys haven't read it, I highly recommend that book. It's $1 on Amazon, and it'll be the best dollar you ever spent.
10x month-over-month revenue.
Yeah. We applied what we learned in that book, and we went from charging $1,500 to $36,000. So I don't know, that's like an 18x increase in LTV. And so, you know, let's dive into how to do that, right? So the first thing you want to do is anchor your value, right? So one of my buddies is running an Amazon agency, right? And he's doing not only PPC management, he's doing product management, he's doing listing optimization, he's doing, you know, customer support with Amazon. Like, he's doing the works, okay? And at the time of the conversation, my friend was charging $1,000 a month. And I was like, oh God. Like, I just felt so bad for him because he was working with, I think, like 10 clients. He was maxed out, and he couldn't hire great people to manage the business because he wasn't earning enough, right? He wasn't charging enough. He didn't have enough margins, right? And so I told him, I was like, look, man, like, you are literally doing the work of probably 5 to 10 internal team members for your clients. And his clients, who are mostly US based, their entry-level talent is usually going to start anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month and be, you know, $50,000, $60,000 plus per year, right? So my friend, who was doing 5 times the work of one person, was charging 1/5 of what one person would be internally, right? And so again, That's what happens when you do not commit to being a market of one and when you conform to the market, right? And so the first part is to anchor your value, because I told him, I was like, look, you got to anchor the value, right? In order to do what you're doing in-house, it would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per year to your clients, right? And so the way that you anchor the value when you create your offer is go through step by step by step by step by step everything that you bring to the table for your clients, and then calculate what would that cost them to manage this and to build this and to find this talent in-house, right? And if it's not in-house, if you're maybe competing with other agencies or just being a better outsourced provider, that's totally fine. Go and find what the alternatives look like, because again, you want to anchor your value so that you can say, look, I'm bringing you millions of dollars in value for 6 figures, and you want to create a discrepancy between the value you bring and the price that you charge. So the value must be up here, the price you charge must be down here, and that has to be crystal clear to your prospects. Otherwise, that's where all the objections come from, right? They don't see the value. They don't see the discrepancy between the value and the price. All right, so let's just give an example. For our service, what we're doing with Predictable Growth as a partner, for someone to build a marketing, sales, operations, creative, and design team in-house and business development in-house, that would cost them well over $1 million per year, right? So we're able to anchor our value in such a way that us charging 6 figures is still a no-brainer for our ideal client, right? And so that is why anchoring your value is number one. And then secondly is developing your core offer, right? So once you've anchored that value, which is, let's say it would cost $100K per year, then it's like, all right, so what components can you add to your offer that can make it an absolute no-brainer for your prospects, right? So for example, with us, one of our core offer components is a fractional CMO, a dedicated growth strategist, and a full-service marketing team, right? So that's one of the first components of our offer, right? And then another component of our offer is a sales copywriting, business development, and appointment setting team, right? So that team, what that team does is they handle all the copywriting, then they handle all the setup for all the domains, all the emails, all the accounts, all the data scraping, all the list building, and sending all that email out, which we can ramp the volume up to 5, 10, 20,000 contacts per month, depending on the market, depending on the client. And then that same team is going through responding to leads, qualifying leads, booking appointments with those leads, right? So that's an example of another offer component, right? And so what you want to do is build out these offer components and prescribe a retail value to those components, right? So it's like, look, I'm bringing you a fractional CMO, which would cost minimum $100,000 per year. I'm bringing you a dedicated growth strategist, which would cost you minimum $60,000 per year. And then I'm bringing you a full service production team for marketing that would also cost you minimum $100,000 per year. So that one offer component, the retail value is well over $300,000 per year for our target clients. And so by developing this core offer and prescribing these retail values, again, you're anchoring the value and you are you're anchoring the value, bringing the value up, and anchoring your price so that it's, again, relative and proportional to the value that you bring. Then, after you develop your core offer, and in the book, Alex recommends anywhere from 3 to 6 core offer components, you want to also incorporate bonuses, scarcity, and urgency, right? And this is something that very few companies implement properly, right? And if they do implement it, it's a little bit scammy. It's like, we have 2 spots left for our digital course that can literally be duplicated infinitely by clicking a button and whatever, right? So I'm not talking about like the bullshit spammy tactics of scarcity and urgency. I'm talking about the real, authentic scarcity and urgency and bonuses here, right? Because the bonuses are what you want to provide to clients to add even more value, right? So you have your core offer components, and then you have bonuses that should be able to solve the other problems that your clients are going to experience while they work with you, right? So let's just use our business as an example, right? So if we're doing a great job, then we're going to be booking a lot of appointments for our clients, right? And so if we're going to be booking a lot of appointments for our clients, then that means that they're going to have a very tightly defined sales process to maximize their return on investment with us, right? And so what we do, a few of our bonuses is we give clients done-for-you sales scripts. We give them some coaching on the sales process. We give them some templates that they can use for follow-up, and other things like that. And so for you, think about what are the problems and what are the maybe obstacles that are going to arise after clients go through your process, and then prescribe bonuses for each one of those problems. All right, so that's the first piece of bonuses. Next, we have scarcity, and then we have urgency, right? And so scarcity is critical because if you want to truly serve your clients to the best of your ability and be the number one provider in order to become that market of one, then it's critical that you set constraints and capacity limits so that you're able to do that to the best of your ability, right? Because let's be honest, you're probably not going to be able to service 5 new clients this week to a 200% ability, right? So you want to be able to make sure that, okay, set the scarcity where it's enough to create a level of urgency, but it's also not too little that you're not going to be making enough money, right? And so the scarcity is something like we're only going to work with 3 clients per month, 1 client per week, a few clients per quarter, or if you're doing like group coaching or something, it's something like, we only work with 20 companies per cohort, right? And so once you define the scarcity, then next is urgency. And what urgency is about is, what happens, is there some sort of deadline, right? So let's say that you're only onboarding 1 client per month, and you can only onboard people the first week of every month, right? And then let's say every quarter your price doubles, for example, right? So you're creating different levels of urgency that are going to get people over the line even more, right? And so bonuses, just to recap, bonuses, scarcity, and urgency. Bonuses should be given to your prospects to provide more value and to solve their problems. Scarcity should be implemented so that you're able to maintain world-class quality of work for every single client, and also create more urgency for clients to have a tighter deadline to work with you. And then lastly is urgency, right? Like, why should somebody sign up this week or this month or this quarter? How can you do that in an authentic way? Either by saying that the price will increase. Maybe you're working on a beta version, and then the next round is version 2, and then the price is going to go up. My personal favorite is just being real with people and saying, look, this is version 1 of our offer. Because of that, you're going to get a great deal, but you're only going to get a great deal until this date, and at that point, we're going to double the price. And then we're going to keep going up. We're going to keep going up every 20, 30 clients or so, whatever, right? And then once you have your bonuses, your scarcity and urgency dialed in, you have your value dialed in, then you want to craft your no-brainer guarantee. And so honestly, like, the guarantee is huge. However, if you don't do it the right way, you are going to be in difficult waters. And I speak from experience. We were running in the past a performance lead generation service, and we made the mistake of guaranteeing results and not really setting the right expectations, so that after a few months we had a lot of refund requests that we had to deal with. And for a services business, refunds are the absolute worst, the absolute worst. And so when it comes to a no-brainer guarantee, you can craft money back guarantees, but personally, I've learned from experience that for services, that's just a terrible, terrible idea. And so what we prefer for services companies is a conditional guarantee, right? And a conditional guarantee is if you do this and you don't achieve this outcome, then we will do this to help you get to that outcome, right? And so for us, what we do is as long as our partners are qualified, we say, look, we guarantee an ROI within this time frame, and if you do not achieve an ROI, as long as you implement our process, then we will work for free until you achieve that ROI, okay? So that's one example. It's been very effective for us. We've had multiple clients say that, look, like the guarantee is great, and we're not dealing with refunds anymore, which is just the ultimate buzzkill. Okay, and so crafting a guarantee is beautiful because the better your offer and the better your bonuses, your scarcity, your urgency, the guarantee is just like the cherry on top, and it's going to get people over the line, it's going to get people excited, and it's going to get people hungry to move forward. And again, I would always offer, instead of a money-back guarantee, I would offer a conditional outcome-focused guarantee because, again, if you're working with clients and you're doing the work, you don't want them to be sitting back waiting for an out and saying, oh, well, you told me you'd give me this money. No, like that's just a fucking disaster, honestly. What you want to do is you want to get clients in that are committed to achieving a specific outcome, and then you want to align your guarantee to that outcome, and you want to align your clients to that outcome so that we're all on the same page and we're both moving forward. All right, so that was step one, defining your market of one. Step two, creating your offer. And now I want to bring in Kevin, our head of sales and head of partnership strategy, to dive into the final step, which is selling your offer.
What's up, everybody? Now that Matt has gone through with you the market of one and creating your offer, I'm going to dive into how you're going to be able to sell this offer. So first step is to, once you have a no-brainer offer, something so good people feel stupid saying no, is to dive into that CRM, take a look at all those contacts that you've gathered over the years, all of those demos that you've had that haven't turned into clients, and you're going to create a 2, 3, 4, 5 email sequence campaign, getting that out to your existing network. Start there. Next up, get it up on LinkedIn. Just like you've grown your network through your CRM, you've done that online as well. So any social channels, get that out there. Any relevant groups that you're a part of on those social channels, get that out there. The whole goal of creating this no-brainer offer is to take about 20 sales calls or so, pitching this new no-brainer offer to see, one, how many people sign up, but two, if there's any feedback or tweaks from your audience that could make it even more of a no-brainer, you can implement before creating those sales, marketing funnels, and all the assets that come with it. So again, the whole purpose is to create that no-brainer offer, leverage the hard work that you've put in for the last decade or however long you've been in business, get it out to your existing audience, get it out to social channels, get it into targeted groups, and get sales calls in the books and pitch that offer. 20 times at a minimum, I guarantee you, if you followed the process correctly, you're going to get at least one deal within those first 20 calls, in addition to making it so perfect that you're set for life. So thanks so much. We'll talk soon.